actual moment to open.
And just tell us what kind of machine this is and where it's used. And is it a bad thing that a voting machine showed up at a Goodwill? Like, just break that down for us.
So, first of all, this is a device which is a multi-use device. It can be a ballot marking device where you use a touch screen to create your ballot and it prints it out as a paper ballot to be scanned. But it also can be used, like for example in Louisiana, it records and there's no paper record whatsoever. It's completely electronic, so it's in multiple operational modes. Now, the other part is you should always assume that your adversaries have access to all of your stuff. So the fact that this kind of devices show up in the second-hand market shouldn't be a problem. What is problem is that if these devices are not maintained by the jurisdiction, so somebody can borrow it and return it or whatnot, that's the problem. This is a testimony of a fact that the asset management, the chain of custody management has completely failed because that jurisdiction didn't know they are missing that device.
Right.
One of the other concerns is the fact that there could be data cached on the device to including voters' information. If it was scanned, it was scanning.
When it's used as a ballot marking device, it only has ballot, it doesn't store the ballots. So there's no personal information at all. When it's used as a DRE, so direct recording voting machine, then the votes are there, but they're anonymized, so you don't still have a voter's name because we have this thing called secret ballot. So under no circumstances there should be something here which is compromising privacy of people. If there is, then we discover a new problem. But by the law and by the specification of this device, that shouldn't happen.
Should. Yeah. So, you wanna go ahead?
Yeah, let's do this.
One last question. So when you say it's counting ballots, there's no other backup, there's no paper backup.
Well, in Michigan, where this device is from, it's used to help people.
Correct. So there are multiple reasons why ballot marking devices are used. Originally, they were conceived by Help America Vote Act of 2002 for a method for disabled voters, so that they would have the same privacy as normal voters with a computerized aid. Later, these devices have been pushed by the vendors to be general methods of voting, which is a bad idea, because there was a recent study also from Michigan by Professor Alex Haldeman, where a voting machine was rigged, or a voting machine was designed, made to be behaving like a ballot marking device, and test voters were told it's a simplified ballot, that we are testing new methods of voting, and they were asked to verify the ballots. What the voters didn't know, the test voters, was that the machine will cheat every time, and only 7% of the people got it, when they were specifically told, check your ballot. In a normal environment, I've been observing elections around the world and in the US, normally people don't even glance it. Also, when ballot marking device is producing the ballot, the human readable part is usually saying Proposition 79, yes. Do you remember what was Proposition 79? Even worse is that these devices are usually used so that it produces a barcode, and the human readable is not actually read by the device. And since we humans, we are not as good reading barcodes and verifying, so there's a lot of problems here. And there is a good argument made by Professor Philip Stark that if you are using ballot marking device, you cannot audit the election because the paper ballot is not anymore direct representation of the voter's will. It's a hearsay what the machine is telling that the voter might have been wanting to do. All right.
It's a big reveal.
Let's hope not. Let's really hope.
So you've been waiting a year to do this, Harry?
Yeah, and I don't. Maybe there's not even a voting machine inside. I have no idea what is inside.
Yeah. It could be anything at this point. Oh man.
Alrighty. Here we have. So this is a device made by OEM vendor in Taiwan, and it can be used for many reasons. This is not specifically made for Dominion. So yeah.
That says that's Coffee County, Michigan. Or is that the
Colfax.
Sorry,
Colfax.
Colfax. And that's where it's from, Michigan, right?
I think so.
Is
Yes.
there anything on the back? See the back.
So what's the plan? You're gonna break
I
into
will,
this?
I will be handing it to Drew, who is a co-author of the recently unsealed security study, unsealed by federal judge in Georgia, and to Will, who will then start professionally to do an image and dive into that. Everybody else are welcome to join the team, but they take the control because we want to do this professionally, utilizing every single best practice. So we get the image, how it works, we had to get all the information in a way that we can then use it later for further studies.
Can I ask you, Harry?
Sure.
Do you think that this means the software supply chain issue is getting worse?
Software supply chain and supply chain issues are getting worse. And again, this is a separate problem from software supply chain directly, but this is all about inventory management. When we were seeing these devices, a little bit bigger one of this coming from Georgia, they didn't reinstall operating system. They dropped the software directly on top of an operating system which was installed in Taiwan. What could possibly go wrong? Absolutely nothing.
All right, we're gonna check in with you in the next few days on this.
Wonderful.
And have fun.
Thank you.
All right.
Will,
Thanks,
Drew,
Tony.
do the honors.
One question, Harry.
Yeah.
Is that's access for,
Voter activation card.
so you have, the voter has the card.
So in number of jurisdictions, you might have a e-poll book system like what they have,
Yeah.
which programs a access card which tells the ballot style, and then you click it in and it gives ballot style. That also can be bypassed, so this can be used with or without that card.
That's what that slot is.
Yes.